Hey everybody, Coach Brian Klepacki here, creator of Unlock Your Glutes. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist. I'm also a certified functional movement specialist. And we're about to start the Bodyweight Routine A build. And you're not going to see any squats, lunges, or things like that in this glute-specific product because, as you know, those exercises are not going to be the best way to build a bigger, stronger butt. So we're going to get right into the restorative lengthening exercise. Number one, Amanda's going to get in the position of the half kneel with an overhead reach. Now from this position, as you can see, she's in a half kneel here, and she's going to be going through this one set, 5 repetitions per side, very little rest in between each repetition, and she's going to pulse through this exercise. 3 to 5 second holds per repetition. And this is going to really open up those hip flexors, priming them for the next exercise. As you can see, she's leaning into the leg that's in front. That really allows that hip flexor to open up properly. Switch sides. Same thing, 5 reps on this side, 3 to 5 second hold per repetition. And she's not going into this exercise too hard. She's going comfortably. Again, this is your first exercise of this routine, so you want to make sure you're taking your time and going at it at a comfortable pace. That's perfect. Now we're going to go into the neuromuscular activation exercises. There's 2 exercises in this portion. The first one is a front plank march. So you're going to get in your traditional front plank position, elbows right under the shoulders, feet back behind you, a nice straight level across your body. What she's going to be doing now is going to be marching her feet for 30 seconds. The tempo you're going to go here is a rapid pace. If you have a difficult time doing this, you can slow it down, but try to make sure you're squeezing your glutes for the entire 30 seconds. That looks really good. Quick little steps, still squeezing the glutes each repetition. Perfect. You're going to stay in this position here, but now you're just going to drop down onto your stomach. Now we're going to go into the third exercise, your prone glute squeeze. Now for this is more of a static exercise. She's going to be squeezing her glutes for 10 seconds for 10 repetitions. Again, max contraction, max hold per repetition. Roughly 5 seconds of rest in between each repetition. That's perfect. Now, a lot of people, they don't take the time to do these type of exercises because it takes a lot of time. It's actually pretty challenging. But do your best to contract your muscle as hard as you can. As you can see, she's bringing up her feet. That allows the glutes to get that extra tight squeeze. Good, keep going, good. 5 more reps. And again, neuromuscular activation is a great way to prime the muscles being used for what's next, which is the build strength power portion. And don't be surprised if you actually start sweating a little bit and feel the body warming up because, again, all the blood is going right towards the muscle being used. 2 more. Good, nice 10-second max contraction squeeze. Good. All right, that's perfect. 1 more. Always squeeze as hard as you can for the entire rep range there. Awesome. So that completes the first 3 exercises. Now we're going to go into the build portion, the strength and power development section. There's 3 exercises in total. We're going to start off with the hip thrust. So what you need to do for this, if you don't have a bench, that's okay. You can use a coffee table, you can use the side of your bed, you can use a dining room chair. What you're going to be doing is positioning your body, pretty much your shoulders on top of the bench. As you can see, she's kind of making like a nice flat table. Her hips are elevated. Now you want to make sure your tailbone is tucked back a little bit into a slight posterior pelvic tilt. That's a good position right there. Her arms are going to go out to brace her body. She's going to tuck her chin to the neck, looking forward. And what she's going to be doing is dropping the hips all the way down to the floor and all the way back up. She's going to be completing 8 repetitions of this. Now, when she's going through this, there is a tempo you need to be concerned about. It's a 3-1-2-0. So what that means is that on the way up, she's going to count 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, hold it at the top for 1 second, down 2 repetitions. At the bottom, she's not going to rest. Good. Now, if you feel your feet are a little too close together, it's okay to spread your feet a little wider. It's all based on how you feel during this exercise. But the main thing is dropping the hips down, raising them up, and squeezing the glutes as hard as you can at the top. Let's do 2 more reps. Good. Always keeping that tailbone tucked behind you. Now, there's something called an iso hold that you might be seeing. On this rep, she's going to hold it for 10 seconds, squeezing at the top for 10 seconds. Don't forget to breathe, keep that chin tucked in, and really squeeze the glutes as hard as you can. Keep those hips up. Keep them up, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Awesome. Good. Now you're going to rest about 30 seconds. You're going to position yourself on your feet into a Bulgarian split squat stance. Again, take your time. If you need a little more rest, that's okay, but try to keep the 30-second rest period on the dot. So what she's going to do is position herself in a way that's perpendicular with the bench. Her back, or one leg, is going to go back onto the bench. She's going to maintain a good, stable foot position in front of her. Now this looks good. Now think of this as a vertical movement. It's not a horizontal. She's not dipping forward. She's moving up and down. So again, this is your Bulgarian split squat, following 8 repetitions. 3 seconds up, 1 second at the top, 2 seconds down, 0 seconds at the bottom. Perfect. Now she's taking her time, breathing through each repetition. Now this exercise really targets the upper portion of the outer glute. A lot of people associate this exercise with quad dominance, but if you do it in the way that she's doing it right here, you're going to feel a lot more in that outer glute. Perfect. Let's do one more. All right, now let's switch to the other leg. If you need a couple seconds in between each side, that's okay. Same thing applies, 8 repetitions, 3, 1, 2, 0 count. Now you're not going to be doing any type of isometric hold at the top at the end of this exercise. You're going to move right into the next exercise after you complete your repetitions. Perfect. Now I don't expect you to get in the exact position your first time doing this. You might need to adjust your foot position. You might even need to hold on to something if you're unsure about your foot placement. That's okay until you build the strength in order to get this done perfectly. Good, let's do 2 more. Good, last one. Excellent, good job. Okay, moving on to the single leg half squat. Now what Amanda's going to show you is 2 variations. She's going to show you the easier version, and then she's going to show you the harder version, and then we're going to progress through the exercise. So a single leg half squat is just as that. So you're going to squat down a little bit, halfway, and stand back up. So this is the easier version. The more advanced version is just have the leg out in front of you. So let's do 2 repetitions there. Good. 1 more. Good. Now, if this is your first time ever doing this exercise, I strongly recommend you have your leg on the back, okay? Now, even professionals, pro athletes, they have a hard time doing this exercise because it is very challenging. But take your time. Don't be discouraged if you fall over. Just maintain your balance as best as you can and progress from there. Same thing applies, 8 repetitions, 6 to 8 repetitions per side. 3, 1, 2, 0 count. Perfect. Now notice her arms are going out in front of her. That helps her to counterbalance herself. And if you really are struggling maintaining your balance, it's okay to position yourself next to something that you can hold on to, but just use it as a form of balance. Don't use it to help you lift yourself up. All right, now we're gonna enter into the build portion of the hypertrophy growth section. So Amanda here is gonna start with the single leg Romanian deadlift. What you're gonna be doing is 1 to 3 sets, 9 to 12 repetitions per side, still following the same tempo pace, a 3, 1, 2, 0. So this is exactly the position you need to be in. Now this is a little more challenging, so if you find yourself, unstable or falling and things like that, reset your footing, take your time, and try your best to get this done. Now notice her down leg is slightly bent. That's where you need to position your leg to make sure you're in the most stable, and also to make sure you're activating the glute properly. As her leg swings back, her upper body falls forward, so it's a nice, even fall lift. Perfect. Keep going. Again, 9 to 12 repetitions. Okay, let's do 4 more. Perfect. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is good for the body. Awesome. Good, 2 more. Excellent. Now you can take a couple seconds transitioning, catch your breath a little bit, resting out at max 30 seconds. Okay, same thing on the other side. Same principles apply, 12 repetitions, nice, slow pace, 3, 1, 2, 0. It's important not to rush through these exercises because they're structured in a way that you get the most growth, not just size, but also strength. So it's important to follow the parameters that we've set for you. And also, don't be surprised if one side feels more difficult than the other. That's a very common, especially for people who have ever suffered from an injury. And that's why it's important to do unilateral exercises like these to help balance and correct any muscular imbalances. That's perfect. That's 8, good. We have 4 reps to go. That's perfect. Taking your time. Try not to rush the last few reps. I know we're getting to the latter part of the exercise, so just take your time, stay with the tempo. Awesome. Good job. 1 more. Last one. All right. That's a challenging one, so you're definitely going to need to take advantage of the rest period on this one. And the best thing about what's next is going to actually be on the floor, going into the single leg glute bridge. So get off your feet for a couple seconds. So she's going to be on her back, her knees are going to be bent, feet about hip width apart. So what she's going to be doing is extending one leg up. Now she's going to be lifting, bridging her hips up towards the ceiling. Very simple exercise, but you're going to be completing this 9 to 12 repetitions, following the same tempo, 3, 1, 2, 0. She's going to hold it at the top for a second. Down slow for 2, no rest at the bottom. 12 repetitions. At the end of this set, the 12th repetition, she's going to be doing another one of those isometric holds. She's going to be holding that for 10 seconds, max squeeze at the top. Again, this is going to be one of those exercises that to really engage that glute and to get the most mechanical damage and stress, that's where the isometric hold takes place. Good. 3 more. 2 more. Good. Don't rush it. Take your time. Awesome. Hold it. There we go. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Nice. That was fun. I know that's a challenging one, especially throwing in that 10-second hold at the top there. Same thing on the other side. 12 repetitions, 9 to 12. 3 seconds up, 1 second hold at the top, 2 seconds on the bottom, 0 seconds at the starting position. Again, don't forget that 10-second hold at the end. That's really where the most max gains will take place, is in that 10 seconds. Perfect. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Halfway there. 8. Good. 4 to go. There's number 10. 2 more. 11, last one. Let's get that good iso hold at the top. Squeeze that for 10 seconds. Again, do your best to squeeze as hard as you can. Just when you thought you're squeezing hard enough, squeeze a little bit harder. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep squeezing. 10. Nice. Awesome. All right. Relax a little bit, 30-second rest. Now we're going to flip on over. We're going to go to a quadruple hip extension. So you're going to get an all fours position, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, hands shoulder width apart, knees about hip width apart. So what Amanda is going to do here is extend one leg back. This is your hip extension. She's going to squeeze the glute just for a second or two, bring the knee in, and straighten it back out. So think of this as a straight leg kickback. Same principles apply, 9 to 12 repetitions. As she's extending back, she's squeezing that glute as hard as she can. Perfect. 7, 5 more. Again, really do your best to squeeze the glute. You kind of see a connection here on all the other exercises to build strength, to build hypertrophy. That's just adding muscle to that particular muscle, which is the glute. Good. Let's switch sides. Now the rep range, you might be wondering, what's the difference between 6 and 8 and 9 to 12? Well, science proves that 6 to 8 repetitions on the lower end builds more strength and not necessarily size. So don't correlate the two lower reps with size. You're not going to bulk up by doing strength training. Whereas this is a hypertrophy or mass building, muscle building, the 9 to 12 repetitions. That's where you're going to see the most gains from a muscular mass aspect over there. Perfect. Keep squeezing, extend back. Good. 4 to go. Now notice she's kicking up a little too high to my liking. Think of it as a straight leg kickback. So you're pushing back behind you, not swinging upward. Good. It's awesome. So we're going into the 10th exercise, the final exercise of this body weight build routine. This is a side kneeling plank with hip abduction. Yeah, that's a mouthful, but it's easier just to see what Amanda's going to be doing here. Side plank, elbow underneath the shoulder. She's positioning her body here. As you can see, her bottom leg is actually doing a lot more work than it might seem. She's going to be taking the top leg, bringing it up away from the body. This is going to be targeting that upper part of the outer glute, kind of giving that completeness on those hips there. Not only that, but she's also going to get a little bit of oblique work in there just from stabilizing her body. All right, good. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. And this one, you're going to throw in another iso hold at the top. Good. Squeeze that for 10 seconds. Really do your best to keep this leg up as high as you can. Yeah, she's shaking a little bit. This is the hardest exercise of this routine. If you can get through this, you're good. Nice. You did it. But wait, other side. So flip onto the other side. Same thing. If you need a little bit of rest, that's okay, because again, this one's challenging. So take your time, up to 30 seconds. Position your body in a comfortable position there. Good. Hips up. Good. Now it's okay that her top hand is on her hips. It's just helping stabilize and also giving her just a little bit more confidence and also feeling the muscle being used. 6. Okay. Try to keep those hips up a little higher. There we go. We're going to be resting here in a few seconds. A little slower. 10. Good. 2 more. Good. Last one. Big squeeze at the top. Squeeze. There we go. Almost done. Almost done. Keep squeezing. Keep squeezing. Get that leg up. 8, 9, and rest. Good job, Amanda. That completes the bodyweight routine A build.